Hare Krishna. Are you able to hear me?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, Sita.
Okay. Okay. And also see the screen.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Sarika Mataji, are you able to read this?
Yeah, Prabhuji. Yeah, just
Would you like to read till verse 27?
yes, Prabhuji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Appearance of demon Vṛtrāsura. Sri Sukadeva Goswami continued. Vishwarupa, who are engaged as the priest of demigod, had 3 heads. He used one to drink the beverage, the somarasa, another to drink wine, and the third to eat food. O King Parikshit, thus I have heard from authorities. Prabhuji, can you move? Yeah, I can. Yeah. O Maharaj Parikshit, the demigods were related to Vishwarupa from his father's side, and therefore he visibly offered clarified butter in the fire while chanting mantras such as Indraya Idam Swaha. This is meant for King Indra's, and Idam Agnaye. This is for demigod of fire. He loudly chanted these mantras and offered each of the demigods his proper share. Although offering clarified butter in the sacrificial fire in the name of demigods without the knowledge of demigods, he also offered oblation to the demons because they were his relatives through his mother. Once upon a time, however, the king of heaven, Indra, understood that the Vishwarupam was recently cheating the demigods by offering oblation on behalf of the demons. He became extremely afraid of being defeated by the demons, and in great danger at Vishwarupa, he cut Vishwarupa's 3 heads from his shoulders. Therefore, the head meant for drinking somarasa was transformed into a kapi Njala Franklin Partridge. Similarly, the head meant for drinking wine was transformed into Kalavinka sparrow, and the head meant for eating food became a Tititri common partridge. Although Indra was so powerful that he could neutralize the sinful reaction for killing a Brahmana, he repentantly accepted the burden of these reactions with folded hands. He suffered for 1 year, and then, to purify himself, he distributed the reaction for this sinful killing among the earth, water, trees, and women. In return for King Indra's benediction that ditches in the earth would be filled automatically, the land accepted 1/4 of the sinful reaction for killing a Brahmana. Because of those sinful reactions, we find many deserts on the surface of earth. In return for Indra's benediction that their branches and twigs would grow back when trimmed, the trees accepted 1/4 of the reaction for killing a Brahmana. These reactions are visible in the flowing of sap from trees. Therefore, one is forbidden to drink this sap. In return for Lord Indra's benediction that they would be able to enjoy lusty desire continuously, even during pregnancy, for as long as sex is not injurious to the embryo, women accepted 1/4 of the sinful reaction. As a result of those reactions, women manifest the sign of menstruation every month. After, yeah. And in return for King Indra's benediction that water would increase the volume of other substances with which it was mixed, water accepted 1/4 of the sinful reactions. Therefore, there are bubbles and foam in water. When one collects water, these should be avoided. After Vishvarupa was killed, his father Twasta performed ritualistic ceremony to kill Indra. He offered oblation in the sacrificial fire, saying, "O enemy of Indra, flourish to kill your enemy without delay." Thereafter, from the southern side of the sacrificial fire, known as Anvahara, came a fearful personality who looked like the destroyer of entire creation at the end of the millennium. Prabhuji, next, yeah. Like arrows released in the four directions, demon body grew day after day, tail and blackish. He appeared like a burnt hill and was as lustrous as bright array of the clouds in the evening. Hair on the demon's body and his beard and mustache were the color of melted copper, and his eyes were piercing like the midday sun. He appeared unconquerable, as if holding the three worlds on the point of his blazing in a trident. Dancing and shouting with a loud voice, he made the entire surface of earth tremble, as if from an earthquake. As he yawned again and again, he seemed to be trying to swallow the whole sky with his mouth, which was as deep as cave. He seems to be licking up all the stars in the sky with his tongue and eating the entire universe with his long, sharp teeth. Seeking this gigantic demon, everyone in great fear ran here and there in all directions. That very fearful demon, who was actually the son of Twasta, covered all the planetary systems by dint of austerity. Therefore, he was named Vratra, or one who covers everything. Uh, the demigods, heard by Indra, charged the demon with their soldiers, striking him with their own transcendental bows and arrow and other weapons. But Vṛtrāsura swallowed all their weapons. Struck with wonder and disappointment upon seeing the strength of the demigod lost their own strength. Therefore, they all met together to try to please the Super Soul, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayana, by worshipping him. The demigod said the three worlds are created by five elements, namely ether, air, fire, water, and earth, which are controlled by various demigods, beginning from Lord Brahma. Being very much afraid that the time factor will end our existence, we offer presentation unto time by performing our work as time dictates. The time factor himself, however, is afraid of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, let us now worship the Supreme Lord, who alone can give us full protection. Free from all miserable conception of existence and never wonder-struck by anything, the Lord is always jubilant and fully satisfied by his own spiritual perfection. He has no material designation, and therefore he is steady and unattached. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the only shelter of everyone. Anyone desiring to be protected by others is certainly a great fool who desired to cross the sea by holding the tail of a dog. The Manu named King Satyavrata formally saved himself by trying the small boat of the entire world to the horn of Matsya Avatar, the fish incarnation. By the grace of the Matsya Avatar, Manu saved himself from the great danger of the flood. May that the same fish incarnation save us from the great and fearful danger caused by the son of Tvasta. Yeah, in the beginning of creation, a tremendous wind caused fierce waves of inundating water. The great waves made such a horrible sound that the Lord Brahma almost fell from his seat on the lotus uh, into the water of devastation. But he was saved with the help of Lord. Thus, we also expect the Lord to protect us from this dangerous condition. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who created us by his external potency and by whose mercy we expend the creation of universe, is always situated before us as the Super Soul. But we cannot see his form. We are unable to see him because all of us think that we are separate and independent gods. By his inconceivable internal potency, the Supreme Personality of God had expanded into various transcendental bodies as Vamandev, the incarnation of strength among the demigod, Parshuram, the incarnation among saints, Narsimhadev and Varaha, incarnation among animals, and Matsya and Kurma, incarnation among aquatics. He accepted various transcendental bodies among all type of living entities. And among human beings, he specially appeared the Lord Krishna as Lord Krishna and Lord Rama. By his causeless mercy, he protects the demigod who are always harassed by the demons. He is a supreme worshipable deity of all living entities. He is a supreme cause represented as the male and female creative energies. Although different from this universe, he exists in his universal form from Virat Rupa in our fearful condition. Let us take shelter of him. For we are sure that the Supreme Lord, the Super Soul, will give us his protection.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Sorry, I couldn't scroll in time.
No, Prabhuji. That's fine.
How did you find reading?
It was good, Prabhuji. Nice. That's really nice.
What was something that you take from this?
Prabhuji, I am taking the, we take shelter of God. He is the one will protect us. We don't we should not expect from others that they will be, they will come and save. And yeah, so that
Okay,
is what I want to take.
nice. Okay, let me offer prayer and then we begin. ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकथां मह्यं ददति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुश्रीयुतपदकमलान् श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सह गणललितश्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबान्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चना गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So this is very nice chapter coming in the line of in the sixth canto, where Lord Indra offends his guru Brihaspati, and Brihaspati leaves, and then this place of Brihaspati is filled by the advice of Lord Brahma by Vishwarupa. When Lord Brahma was suggesting to fill the place with Vishwarupa, who is the son of Tvyashta, at that time already Brahma hints that okay, his father is in the right lineage, but his mother not. So, though he may be partial with the demons, but still go, he is qualified, and you bring him, you serve him, and then when you please him, then you will be empowered, and when you are empowered, then you can overpower the demons, and that's what happened. And Brihaspati, Vishwarupa, yeah, in fact, has given wonderful means to attain protection, which is Narayana Kavacha. And we are continuing what happened afterwards. We have seen, let me check my notes one sec. Yeah, so we see here that Shukadeva Goswami is saying, Tasyasan Vishwarupasya Shiramsi Trini Bharata Soma Pitam Sura Pitam Annadam Iti Sushruma. So, Sushruma is a nice word here. That's why I'm Sushruta also means service, and Sushruma means he is saying, I have heard by the Parampara system. So, Shukadeva Goswami is saying, I have heard that Vishwarupa had, who is engaged as a priest of the demigods, had 3 heads. And uh, in the purport, Prabhupada writes, one cannot directly perceive the kingdom of heaven, yeah, its king and other inhabitants, or how they perform various engagements, for no one can go to the. One sec. Oh, yeah. Okay. Um, all the modern scientists have invented many powerful space vehicles. They cannot even go to the moon, not to speak of other planets. When this comes, immediately the challenge, oh, how can ISKCON say that? ISKCON is advanced in many fields, and but who understands how to use sophisticated gadgets, equipments all over? How can they not accept that there was first space person who has landed on moon, and then later and later and so many things. So going on a physical planet, yeah, in one of the purports Prabhupada mentions, they claim it is moon. Okay. How to know? You can use science, you can say the direction, and you can say, in fact, they have landed on, even if that is the fact, but they still have not entered into it. Just like here, we are residing in this planet, Earth, and then we have so many arrangements to live here. And one goes on to the moon and he says, there is this, there is that observation, and he's not able to understand it. It's just like if we are walking on a beach and if we come across a box or a ball, and then we start thinking what this could be. Sometimes some what do you call this, saucers fall, and then people start uh, speculating. Here anyway, one must hear from authorities. That is the point. By direct experience, one cannot learn anything beyond the range of human perception. uh, Pratik Prabhu, I think when we were walking, yeah, we were also touching on this aspect. Our way of learning things is direct perception. If not, then it's not there. That's our understanding. One must hear from authorities. Therefore, Sukadeva Goswami, a great personality, says, what I am describing to you, O King, is what I have heard from authoritative source. This is Vedic system. This is called Avarohana Pantha. Avarohana Pantha means Arohan means to go in this direction, that, oh, in a speculative mode, we bring up, up, up. No, this knowledge, this wisdom in its purest form is up, just like the Ganges water in the Himalayas is most purest, uh, compared to the water where, yeah, of course, we may still have the spiritual potency. When we see the water is being contaminated, is not as pure as the water that we have on the Himalayas. So it is, yeah, the Vedic knowledge is called Shruti, hmm, because it must be received by being heard from authorities. So it is only recently we have these means where Vyasa Muni has compiled all this, in so that this written form is passed by, so that we can have it available, so that even if there is a break in this Shushruta, in this Shushruma process, then what happens, at least there is some, yeah, words written cannot be manipulated. Of course, yeah, in IT world, you can always edit, you can claim someone's quote as your quote, or you can do so many things. But from authorized and authentic way, it is heard. It is beyond the realm of our false experimental knowledge. This is to be understood. And then it said, Sabai Brahishi Devebhyo Bhagam Pratyaksham Uchakai Adadad Yasya Pitaro Deva Saprashayam Nrupa. He's saying, O king, O Maharaj Parikshit, the demigods were related to Vishwarupa from father's side. Hmm? And therefore, he visibly offered clarified butter in fire while chanting Om Idam Indra Idam Swaha. So he's saying, Oh Indra, take these oblations, these offerings are for you. The ghee butter is offered for you. And Idam Agnaye. All these things he loudly chanted these mantras and offered each of the demigods his proper share. Yeah, Yagnam and Tapasa, all this to be performed are with the central interest to whom Bhoktaram, Yagna Tapasam, Sarva Loka Maheshwaram, Suhrasa Sarva Bhutanam. So one has to understand that all these yajnas are to please the Lord. And of course, uh, being a Brahmana, Vishwarupa was offering by chanting all these Vedic mantras. Uh, yeah, in this process, what happened is, although offering clarified but and sacrifice in the name of demigods, without the knowledge of the devatas, he also offered oblations to the demons because they were his relatives through his mother's side. Huh? So he is thinking, oh, how can I be partial to only father side? Let me also favor uh, the demons. Yeah, and because of Vishwarupa's affection, he did that. He appeased Supreme Lord on behalf of both dynasties. So when he offered oblations in fire on behalf of the Asuras, he did so secretly without the knowledge of the demigods. And once what happened, King Indra understood that Vishwarupa was secretly cheating, and then he decided to chop off the three heads. And then he cut Vishwarupa's head from his shoulders, and three heads they fell in and transformed into three things, three birds actually. Kapinjala. Kapinjala is the bird. You can Google it up, you will find. Kapinjala, and similarly, the head meant for drinking wine was transferred as a sparrow, Kalavinka, and the head meant for eating food became Titiri. You also hear this bird sounds, and yeah. So in this way, the heads got transformed. And although Indra was so powerful that he could neutralize the sinful reaction of killing a Brahmana, this is something amazing for me when I read here. This shows, yeah, the Shukadev Goswami is saying the greatness of Indra. And of course, we can see Indra has done right. Yeah. Why? Because he was protecting Dharma. How? Because he was killing, he killed Vishwarupa, who was actually was thinking the welfare or well-being of the demons. But still, he has killed a Brahmana. Yeah, though the act sometimes is justified, but Lord is very serious. we already started Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam reciting, where we see though the Kumaras they have come and stopped by the Jaya Vijaya, became angry, and in that anger they have cursed the Lord's devotees, Jaya Vijaya, but the Lord still has said no, 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 they befit this punishment. Yeah. Uh, though, of course, the Lord knows very well that there was nothing much serious thing on their part. So we can see how dear is a Brahmana to the Lord, and Lord may not spare. We can also see how when Bhrigu Muni he came and hit on Lord's chest. Can you imagine? It's just not as to see how dangerous it is. Someone hitting the Lord on the heart. Anyway, we also do every day because the Lord is inside our heart, and then we are also not so serious taking when the Lord is present what to do. No, we are not so serious. That's also a kind of an offense in itself. So at least to whatever capacity we have, to whatever best efforts we should always engage in remembering Him, serving Him, and do what He wants. So anyway, Indra has cut the heads and it came this, and in return, Indra, uh, uh, though he has the power, he repentantly accepted the burden of these reactions with folded hands. Yeah, so in fact, I think it says, he suffered for 1 year because he was suffering for 1 year, and then to purify himself, he distributed the reactions of this sinful killing among the earth, water, trees, and women. So, to purify his existence, which is made of 5 elements, and of course, ether cannot become contaminated, or sin doesn't enter into ether. So, the 4 elements of his body, after an year of repentance, which has reduced the effect of committing Brahmahatya. Uh, where is the word used? Yeah, Brahmahatya. Indra has done the following. He, in return for King Indra's benediction, that ditches in the earth would be filled automatically. Yeah, we know there will be what do you call in a platonic belt, or wherever there is always, it's not like the planet earth is flat. Yeah, we can see that there are places where there are um, uh, ditches, and uh, because the earth is taking a share of his sinful reaction, in return he said okay, he said the land accepted 1/4 of the sinful reaction for killing a Brahmana. And what is the symptom that earth has accepted is mentioned here as the earth we see has deserts. And in the purport, Prabhupada writes, because deserts are manifestation of earth's diseased condition, no auspicious ritualistic ceremonies can be performed in a desert. Persons destined to live in deserts are understood to be sharing the reactions for the sin of Brahmahatya, the killing of Brahmanas. So, so one may like to have an excursion or a holiday or whatever. So nice to see that there's a camel walking and there is nice sand, only sand and sand. There is nothing. It's literally difficult for people who are there because of scorching heat, no proper food. They're literally looking for those small basins. What is it called? Oasis, is it called?
Oh, yes, it's Prabhuji.
But there is also another word. Anyway, the place where one can get some water. But the whole desert is not suitable for anything else. One can have kilos or tons and tons of sand. They can, yeah, but they can't get any vegetation that they can really benefit from. So it is said here, yeah, deserts are understood to be sharing the reactions for the sin of Brahmahatya. And then goes further. Turyam cheda virohena varena jagrur vrumaha tesham niryasa rupena brahmahatya pradrishyate. So then what happened in return to the branches and twigs? So now one fourth of the sin is accepted by the trees. So what is the benediction that Indra is giving is he's saying, okay, though people will cut your twigs and branches, they grow back again. But what is the effect of accepting sin is that these trees, these reactions are visible in the flowing of saps from the trees. Therefore, one is forbidden to drink this sap. Hmm. Shashvat Kama Varenam Turiyam, one fourth Jagruh Sriya Rajo Rupena Tashva Amho Masi Pradrishyate. And in this way, women as a class are very lusty and apparently their continuous lusty desires are never satisfied. In return for Lord Indra's benediction that there would be no cessation to their lusty desires, women accepted one fourth of the sinful reactions for killing a Brahmana. And because of that, it is said that as a result of these reactions, women manifest the sign of menstruation every month. Yeah, this is one. I also heard somewhere it was Yamaraj was cursing Sati Savitri, for not telling truth, or I mean, I forgot. But in that case also it is mentioned. But yeah, here we can see. And then the last one fourth share is given to water. Dravya bhuyo varena pas turiyam jagrur malam tasu badbuda Budbuda Fenabhyam Drishtam Tad Dharati Shipan. It is said, therefore, the bubbles and foam in the water is the reaction of the sinful reaction of Indra that comes in that form. But what is the benefit that the benediction that water got would increase the volume of other substances with which it was mixed. So water is used, of course, as a dilution. Yeah. So milk, of course, we know doodh wala how much water mixes. Yeah, and it's not so easy, right? Unless there is a 1:100, you will not see that okay, milk is mixed with water. In fact, sometimes the milkman will say, what to do? This is not I didn't do anything. The cow drinks water. Yeah, and the cow's milk is very thin or not so thick. That's why he says there is no much fat. What can I do? Uh, if water is mixed with milk, fruit juice, or other similar substances, it increases their volume, and no one can understand which has increased. In return for this benediction, water accepted one fourth of the sin. These sinful reactions are visible in the form of foams and bubbles. Therefore, one should avoid foam and bubbles while collecting drinking water. I don't know. Sometimes we see this very carefully. Once, if someone is just the water is quite, yeah, um, shaken, yeah, to kind of one allows the water to settle, and then they collect the water with the pot or vessel. हतपुत्रस्ततस्त्वष्टा जुहावेन्द्राय शत्रवे इन्द्र विवर्धस्व मा चिरं जहि vidvisham. So Vishwarupa, after killing Vishwarupa, then his father became very angry. Uh, his father, he performed ritualistic ceremonies to kill Indra. He offered oblations in the sacrificial fire and said, uh, uh, "Oh, uh, enemy of Indra, flourish to kill your enemy without delay." This 11th verse reminds me of the care that a Brahmana should take. Otherwise, what can happen? Yeah, you know what happens in the case of Indrasan. What did Kumbhakarna asked for? Huh? Instead of saying Indrasan because of Saraswati Devi, he said Nidrasan. Indra, Nidra, sometimes, yeah, we think, okay, how big difference it is. Anyway, people will understand my bhava. The Lord can use the same. Forget about bhava. He is taking literally the word. And here also, what happens is, um, um, Tvashta was chanting mantra, and when he was chanting mantra, he pronounced it instead of saying Indra Shatru, he said Indra Shatru. The meaning changes. Like he intended to say, "O enemy of Indra." This is what he wanted to say. But instead of in this mantra, the word, I mean, there is explanation. Prabhupada gives what is this? I think we also know in our own languages there is this sandhi. Yeah, when two words are brought together, and then what is happens? Tatpurusha sandhi. Sorry, Tatpurusha. Oh, samasa is mentioned. Okay, compounding. And unfortunately, instead of chanting the mantra short, Tvashta chanted it long, and it meaning changed it from enemy of Indra was what he wanted to say, but the word meaning changed as Indra, who is an enemy. And consequently, instead of an enemy of Indra's, there emerged the body of Vṛtrāsura, of whom Indra was the enemy. Uh, so So it was not that that's I mean how to under if someone would like to underline this, it's very tricky. I don't know if it was so easy to understand this, but when we are going through the greatness of Vritrasura later, then we will understand this. It is not that he is enemy of Indra, yeah, but for Indra, Vritrasura was enemy. That is the greatness of this demon who didn't consider Indra as his enemy. Yeah, anyway, I have just kind of demystified this part, but we will see how later. अथावाहार्य पचनाद उत्तिह घोर दर्शनः कृतान्त इव लोकानां युगान्त समये यथा. Thereafter, then all from the southern side of the sacrificial fire known as Anvaharya came a fearful personality who looked like a destroyer of the entire creation at the end of the millennium. It was like that. And then there is this whole description about him, what he did, like arrows released in the four direction, demon's eyebrow day after day. He was so dangerous. Yeah? He seemed to be licking up all the stars in the sky with his tongue and eating the entire universe with his long, sharp teeth. Seeing this gigantic demon, everyone in great fear ran here and there in all directions. And then, Yena vrita ime lokas tapasa tvashtra murtina sabai vrita iti prokta papaha parama daruna. So here it is said, did I miss? Yeah, the name Vritra is coming how? That very fearful demon who was actually the son of Tvashta hmm, covered all the planetary system by dint of austerity. Therefore, he was named Vritra. It's not Vrita, it's Vritra, or one who covers everything. In the Vedas, it is said, Sa imal lokan avritnot tad vritrasya vritratvam means because the demon covered all the planetary systems, his name was Vṛtrāsura. Hmm. तं निजघ्नुर् अभिद्रुत्य सगण विपुदर्शभ दर्शभा स्वै स्वै दिव्यास्त्र शस्त्रौघैः सोऽग्रस्त तानि कृत्स्न कृत्स्नशः कृत्स्नशः means all together. Okay. The demigods, headed by Indra, they all charge the demons with their soldiers, striking him with their own transcendental bows and arrows and other weapons. But Vritrasura swallowed all their weapons. Can you imagine? The whole military system, defense system is manufacturing so many weapons, and all of a sudden someone is coming and swallowing in a minute. And then what happened? Tadaste Vishmita Sarve. Everyone is surprised. Vishmita, being struck with wonder. Vishanna Grasta Tejasa Pratyancham Adi Purusham Upatastuhu Samahita. So therefore, they all met together to try to please the super soul, the Paramatma, Narayan, by worshipping him. And that's what the Devatas is saying. Shri Deva Uvacha Vyah, Vahva Ambarangi Ap Kshitayas Triloka Brahmadayo Ye Vayam Udvijantaha Harama Yasmai Balim Antako So Bibheti Yasmad Aranam Tato Naha. The demigod said the three worlds are created by the five elements, namely earth, fire, water, ether, earth, which are controlled by various demigods, beginning from Lord Brahma. Being very much afraid that the time factor will end our existence, we offer presentations unto time by performing our work as time dictates. So whatever is time giving us that chance, in that time we are delivering, right? Project delivery is happening, uh, not just only based on our effort, within the time that is given. So we are just offering. The time factor himself, however, is afraid of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, let us let us now worship the Supreme Lord, who alone can give us protection. Ah, this is very important. In fact, Prabhupada mentions taking shelter of the Supreme Lord brings actual fearlessness. Therefore, the demigods decided to take shelter of the Lord. So, when time is not our time, what does that mean? Uh, when the time is not our time means, yeah, whatever those which are really auspicious that has to happen in our life is not happening that time. What should we do? Hmm. We shouldn't just still find a way out. Let's make astrological adjustments so that the time will be good time for us. The best approach is to take Japamala and chant and pray to the Lord. Lord, I am just sincerely and humbly surrendering to you. And of course, after that, we are not expecting some miracles. Why? Because what happens is Lord's mercy. We can't just say it's a miracle or magic, illogical. There is no reason for it. No, we just know that Lord takes care of everything, and He protects the devotees. We only have to become a good devotee. अविस्मितं तं परिपूर्णकामं स्वेनैव लाभेन समं प्रशान्तं विनोपसर्पति अपरं हि बालिशं बालिशः स्वलाङ्गुलेना लाङ्गुनेनाति Tarti Sindhum. What is the word to break it? Atiti Rarti. Arti wants to cross. So to for them, if someone wants to cross over the ocean by holding the tail of a dog, he is considered fool. Why? Of course, dog can very nicely swim, but don't have high expectation that the dog can even itself swim across an ocean. After some time, yeah, I don't know if you have seen a dog which enters into the water after swimming for a while, yeah, it can't stay over there, it just comes back, yeah. And what to talk about ocean, huh? In fact, Prabhupada writes, a dog can swim in the water, but if a dog dives in the ocean and someone wants to cross the ocean by holding the dog's tail, he is certainly fool number one. A dog cannot cross the ocean, nor can a person cross the ocean by catching a dog's tail. Similarly, one who desires to cross the ocean of nescience should not seek the shelter of any demigod or anyone else, but the fearless shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In fact, in the 10th canto, this is nice verse. Samasrita ye pada pallava plavam. Plavam means, I think recently I saw somewhere this post. Yeah, yesterday when I was sharing that there is an app released by in the App Store of His Holiness Kadam Kanan Maharaj. Yeah, I was looking into it. There is this one liner which was mentioned, Plavena. Plavena means Plavam means boat. It is Samashrita ye pada pallava plavam mahat padam punya yasho murarer bhavam budir vatsa Padam, param padam, padam padam yat vipadam na tesham. This is very important. Yeah, if you would like to make a note of this, yeah, you can. It is the 10th canto, 11th, 10th canto, 14th verse, 10th canto, 14th chapter, verse 58. This is coming. The Lord Brahma is offering this prayer Samashrita ye pada pallava flavam mahat padam punya yasho murare. It is said, for those who have accepted the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the shelter of the cosmic manifestation and is famous as Murari, the enemy of the Mura demon. The ocean of material world is like water contained in the calf of no in the calf hood, calf's hoof print. When a calf is walking on a what do you call muddy road, we can see the footprint. The whole ocean of the material world, Nisayans, becomes so small. Their goal is Parampadam, which is Vaikuntha, the place where there are no miseries, no material miseries, not the place where there is danger at every step. Padam, in the last line, it says Padam Padam Yat Vipadam Natesham. It is saying we are living in the world where every step there is a danger. Padam Padam Yat Vipadam Tesham. Tesham means for them, it's for them, who is that? For devotees. For the devotees who have accepted the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord, who is known as Murari, killer of Mura, the ocean of material world becomes so small. For him, yeah, he doesn't have to worry. And that is why devotee becomes fearless. Of course, Maya is strong. Yeah, of course. Yeah, but Maya is still not superior to the Lord. It's just subordinate to the Supreme Lord. One should seek the shelter of all powerful instead of trying to be protected by one's own concocted ideas. Hmm? यस्योरु शृंगे जगतीं स्वनावं मनुर यथाबध्य ततार दुर्गम स एव न त्वष्ट्रा भयाद दुरंतात त्राता त्राताश्रितान् वारिचो वारिचरो P. Noonam. In fact, what is it saying? The Manu named King Satyavrata formerly saved himself by tying the small boat of the entire world to the horn of Matsya avatar. This shows that the whole universe, which was packed into a boat which was carried very easily by Matsya avatar, which is tied to the horn, by the grace of Matsya avatar, Manu saved himself from great danger of the flood. May that same fish incarnation save us from the great and fearful danger caused by the son of Tvashta. And then Pura, before Pura, Swayambhur api samyamambhasi udirna vatormi ravaihi karale eko aravindat patitas tatara tasmad bhayad yena sanostu paraha. So deliver, please. In the beginning of creation, a tremendous wind caused fierce waves of inundating water. The great waves made such a terrible sound that Lord Brahma almost fell from his seat on the lotus within the water of devastation. But he was saved with the help of the Lord. So this is what happened, yeah, where when Brahma was meditating at that time, there was a fierce wave uh, came, and that scared Brahma. But Lord assurance was that thus he was saved, and the devatas are praying, saying, Lord Indra is saying, thus we also expect the Lord to protect us from this dangerous condition. uh, eka isha nija mayaya naha sasarja yenanushrajama vishvam vayam na yasyapi purah samihataha pasyama lingam pratag isha maninaha. Ah, so this form, now he is remembering, Indra is saying, Lord who created us by his external potency and by whose mercy we expand the creation of the universe, is always situated before us as super soul. But we cannot see his form. We are unable to see him because all of us think that we are separate and independent gods. So this is our problem, our blindness Our ignorance is that we are not able to see the Lord who is very much present within our own heart. Here is an explanation of why conditioned soul cannot see the Lord face to face. Even though the Lord appears before us as Lord Krishna or Lord Ramachandra and lives in human society as a leader or king, conditioned soul cannot understand him. Avajanati mam mudha manushim tanumashritah. Rascals deride the existence of the Lord, thinking him as ordinary human being. However insignificant we are, we think that we are also God, that we can create a universe or that we can create another God. This is why we cannot see or understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Pratik Prabhu, this is our challenge. Though we have advanced, though we may create all the robotics of the most sophisticated cutting edge technologies we can see. Oh, yeah. We can always brag our greatness by comparing 50 years back. There was no internet. 500 years back, there was no um, something, yeah, or net computers and all these things we may tell. Now it's there. What did it change in the sense of happiness of the humans? It is only a sense of, okay, I thought that computers will give me happiness. Yeah. If you ask an IT guy, he will say how many hours that he is working or she is working, huh? Instead of being in the nature, for example. And of course, one may say it's a choice one has made. Yeah, but it's an attractive business. Just like an air hostess is paid very high, or a pilot is paid high. Why? Because yeah, there is a danger to his life. Huh? This is what happens. Yeah, there is a danger. It's not like just 8 hours a day and yeah, just like any other government jobs, which might be okay to understand, accept. No, we're talking about here life-threatening professions. That's why they are paid more. And if, in fact, if you are applying insurance and if you are one of these, uh, even doctors, you usually pay more because you're exposed to uh, uh, these kind of dangerous environments. So here we can see that yeah, when we are advancing, is it real advancement? If we really sit back and carefully assess, we understand no. In fact, Srila Madhvacharya is saying, Lingam eva pasyamaha kadachid abhimanastu devanam api san iva prayah kaleshu nasti eva taratamyena so api tu. He is saying, we are all conditioned to various degrees, but we think that we are God. This is why we cannot understand who God is or see Him face to face. And then there is also philosophers who come and tell, you know what, in fact, we are God. And the Babas and Gurus and some, they comes, they what do they say is, hey, God is in you, or yeah, God is yourself. And yeah, misinterpretations and misguidance is always there because there is ample amount of freedom to, and this freedom can be exercised for good or for bad. यो नः सपत्नैर्भृशम् अर्ध्यमानान् देवर्षीन् तिर्यन् ऋषु नित्य एव कृतावतारस्तनुभिः सव मायया कृता कृत्वात्मा सात् पाति युगे युगे च तम एव देवं वयम् आत्मदैवतं परं प्रधानं पुरुषं विश्वम् अन्यं प्रजाम सर्वे शरणं शरण्यं स्वानां स नो धास्यति sam mahatma. Indra is saying, by the Lord's inconceivable internal potency, he expands into various transcendental bodies as Vamanadeva, incarnation of strength among the demigods, Parashurama, the incarnation among saints, Nrsimha and Varaha, incarnation among animals, Matsya and Kurma, incarnation among aquatics. He accepts various transcendental bodies among all types of living entities and among human beings. He especially appears as Lord Krishna and Lord Rama. By his causeless mercy, he protects the demigods who are always harassed by the demons. He is the supreme worshipable deity of all living entities. He is the supreme cause represented as the male and female creative energies. Although different from this universe, he exists in his universal form. In our fearful condition, let us take shelter of him. For we are sure that the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Soul, will give us his protection. So, in this verse, Prabhupada writes, the Supreme Lord Vishnu is ascertained to be the original cause of creation. Sridhar Swami, in his commentary, Bhavartha Deepika, replies to the idea that Prakriti and Purusha are the causes of cosmic manifestation. Prakriti and Purusha. As stated herein, Param Pradhanam Purusham Vishwam Anya. He is the supreme cause represented as the male and female creative energies. Although different from this universe, he exists in his universal form. The word Prakriti, which is used to indicate the source of generation, refers to the material energy of the Supreme Lord, and the Purusha refers to the living entities who are superior energy of the Lord. Both the Prakriti and Purusha ultimately enter the Supreme Lord, as stated in Bhagavad Gita. So, in fact, both the Prakriti and Purusha, which are inferior and superior energies, are emanations from the Supreme Lord. So, here we are talking about the Bahiranga Shakti and Tatastha Shakti, which both come from the Lord's Antaranga Shakti, from the Lord's potency. As explained in Bhagavad Gita, Gam Avishya, the Lord enters the Prakriti, and then the Prakriti creates different manifestation. The Prakriti is not independent or beyond his energies. Vasudeva, Lord Krishna is the original cause of all causes. Aham sarvasya prabho matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. This is one of the Chatushlokas, or the first one, I think. Yeah, which is saying, I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly knows this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. The Lord also says, Aham evasam evagre. Only I existed before the creation. This is confirmed in Brahmanda Purana. It is saying, Smritir avyavadanena prakritvam prakritvam iti stitihi ubhayatmakya sutitvad vasudeva para puman. Prakriti purusha cheti shabdher eko abhidhiyate. It says to generate the universe. The Lord acts indirectly as the Purusha and directly as the Prakriti. Because both energies emanate from Lord Vasudeva, the all pervasive Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is known both Prakriti and Purusha. Therefore, Vasudeva is the cause of everything. Sarva Karana Karana. Thank you very much. Stop here. Any thoughts or comments someone have, or questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Mataji.
When we were learning about bubble water.
Mm-hmm.
I just have a question. Here, people drink this Vṛtrāsura,
Mm-hmm.
which is, it's they want it with bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
How do we look at that from the point of view of Shastras?
Actually, I was asking one of my colleagues, I asked why in Germany, or I don't know, in Luxembourg areas, why people drink this Sprudelwasser. Why that this is added to the water and then drank. No, he said actually in some places the water naturally has this bubbles, yeah, and that's considered more clean or pure, etc. And that's actually the cause or reason why it actually started. And but one actually adding this carbonated, right? So when we're talking about not only this Sprudel Vasa, we are talking about everything. Yes, all the soft drinks come with that.
Yes,
Yep.
aerated.
So I don't know if we are talking about the same things here. If it is the same bubbles, actually the foam and bubbles usually come from water, which is when you churn water, right? When you're churning
Mm.
water, then you start seeing there is foam, and that is coming, and usually it is said one shouldn't take. We know that usually such a foam that's formed is because of impure water. So that's what I understood from that. Yeah, we are not. I think it's not about this brutal Wasser, the carbonated, yeah, because the carbon dioxide when it's sent into the water, yeah, I don't know if that is making the water impure. I don't know. But at least the foam and bubbles that form on the water is what I mean on if you see in the lakes, right, especially you can see that there is always a fourth that foam that comes up in the edges of the lakes, or the water is flowing, and then you see the bubbles, right? We're talking,
Yes.
I think, to my understanding about that bubbles.
Okay.
I think, I mean, I'm sorry, I can't say if it was about this Prudel Wasser in those days it was there.
Okay, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, during when there was a discussion among Pandavas about killing Ashwatthama, then I
Mm-hmm.
think Krishna said, if Brahmana is on the path of adharma,
Mm.
then there is no sin in killing a Brahmana.
Mm.
So
He was
can
a
we
he
apply?
was a he was a Brahma Bandhu, Ashwatthama. So he was not a qualified Brahmana. He was already not qualified as a Pakka Brahman. He was the son of a Brahmana. And that's why there was some liberal sense of actually punishing. Yeah. And in fact, of course, it came to the point that, okay, there, how a Brahmana can be killed is by not really physically killing him, but by taking his pride. Yeah, this is one. So, of course, nowadays it's a cool style if someone shaves your head. Yeah, because we can see someone is shaving the head and keeping a goat, goat beard, yeah, or French beard or something. Yeah, we are using hair. In fact, that is one of the reasons why they say, right, someone should cover the veil for women and gents also. It's not like, okay, it's allowed. If you see sannyasis, right, have you seen, especially in the Mayavad lineage, or not even that, if you see also, for example, in our lineage, we can see Bhakti Vikas Maharaj. mm, Yeah, also covers. And there's so many. So covering is a sense of actually saying uh, not taking pride of our, you know, even hair. Yeah, we just humbly accept position. That went little side for your question. I don't know. Did it answer already? Yeah. So you were mentioning about, yeah, is it so Krishna himself said, but also Krishna said, don't kill. Yeah, but you can do this as if like killing. Hmm?
Okay. So Brahmana cannot be killed even if he is not real Brahmana. I mean, so
Cannot
there
be
will be
killed or
sin.
can be killed.
So, so if someone kills Brahmana, even
See,
Brahmana is not.
Brahmahatya. So Brahmahatya it's very interesting, right? So how do we know one is a Pakka Brahman? Is it just because he is reciting wonderful mantras, or is it because he is well known in the city and town? No, right? Yeah, it's an internalization of a person, how he is and how he is acting, how is he behaving, how he's absorbed everything. And usually, when such a person is there, he usually doesn't commit an offense. And when he doesn't commit an offense, we don't usually kill. But sometimes, when out of envy and out of pride, when the kings who are not favorable to the brahmanas, they may, out of their pride, they may kill. They definitely will incur some reaction. And here we can already see Indra, in fact, had a reaction. It's not that, okay, that's fine, you can kill a Brahmana. No, it's becoming, it's like killing a cow and Brahmana. These are considered two deadly um, acts that one is destined to be affected. Definitely.
Yes, Prabhuji, yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Compared to others. Okay. Any other questions? No, then we see us tomorrow. Thank you very much. Vanchakalpatarabhyascha kripasindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. May I ask Adirasa Prabhu, who else? Parth Prabhu.